So, today's finally the day. By the end of the night, that axle will be bolted into that Jeep. Might be loosely, but it'll be in there. And honestly, this step is what everything else has been waiting on. At the end of the last video, I just said, just imagine me welding these spring hangers in. I'll show you real quick. So, there they are. They're a little rough in a few places. It was not very clean weld around this. And the inside, what I did was, I had the exhaust in the way, so I unbolted it from the manifold and then ratchet strapped it over that way, and it gave me that much room to get in there and weld the inside. I'm pretty confident in it. So one more quick thing I gotta do while I've got this rolled out here. I have to drill out the hole for the spring pin on this driver's side because I had 3/8 spring pins and I recently upgraded them. That should be in a different video. Should have already posted. But anyway, that side fits it, this side doesn't. It's 1/2 inch and I need it to be 9/16. We'll get that drilled. Then I gotta put bushings in here. Ooh, there's some weld spatter in there. I might need to sand that crap out of there. Go ahead and get our makeshift stand back up here, which is a piece of wood stacked on top of a piece of wood. Jack stand would probably be safer, but they are all used up right now. So I lied. I actually have to take this to 5/8. I don't know if y'all remember when I drilled this hole, but I welded the old one in and then drilled it, and I think it hardened to the steel. Normally cast drills so easy, and this chewed up every single drill bit in my index. It literally, I couldn't even skip 2 sizes. I had to go every size, otherwise it would just burn up the bits. If this doesn't work, we're gonna get out the carbide and do it that way. That's right, this drill bit's bent. Oh well. As expected, it's not drilling for shit. Some part of this is hardened. Maybe it's from plasma cutting the old bracket off. I don't know, but it's not happening. Boy, if that catches, it's gonna whack me right in the nuts. I think I'm just gonna finish it with the carbide. We're gonna see how the spring fits, because actually this will be the first time that I've test fit it. I did everything to this just with a spare single leaf. Where are you at? Right there. Alright, she fits. And it looks like I got enough room for my U-bolt to get through there. Let's check that too. Oh, I gotta drill this hole out because my upgraded spring pins now don't fit. Looks like I do clear the edge of the truss. That's good. What size drill bit do I need? The widest point is 0.769. I guess I can just go to 13/16 and call it good. Well, she's a little fast, but slower speeds keep making my bit stick, so here goes nothing. To be fair, I'm only on the 3rd slowest setting, which is 470, but that's just, for a small drill bit, that's nothing, but it's a lot for these big ones. Boom. All I can say is, if you know, you know. Anyway, let's get some springs bolted up. Look at this, I'm so fancy, I even painted my nuts. There she goes. Boy, I could just go get a socket, but what's the fun in that, right? Come on. Not really looking to tighten these yet. Just run them down. think I got it to play nice and sit in that little groove down there on the bottom of the cast. Yeah. This one, I was also concerned about the end of my truss. I never actually measured it, and it may or may not fit like it's supposed to. When I built this truss, it was already half built, and I just kind of cut some stuff off and plated the top of it, and it made things a little wonky. Oh, 1/4 inch of clearance. My U-bolt might hit this back corner though, we'll see. That's a tight one. I think my weld on the spring perch is making the U-bolt like kick out to the side a little bit. I think this one's gonna do the same thing. God forbid I just go and get a hammer. I have to cut these down to get them the rest of the way tight. I gotta grind some weld. Dang it. Got this little chunk of weld right here next to the end of the spring perch. You won't be able to see it, but it's just sticking out, blocking my U-bolt a little bit. Oh, I don't want to get these metal shavings all over. Oh yeah, that did it. Sweet. It's about time for a new blade. Oh, here goes nothing, I guess. Oh, I shouldn't have tightened these bolts yet. Uh-oh. I gotta get the Jeep higher or the springs lower somehow. Shit, these jack stands are all the way down too. Shit. Ooh, there we go. I can't see what way it needs to go. God bless. Really? You know you're getting frustrated when you pull out the old use the cell phone to try to see what you're looking for trick. They're both like literally lined right up and neither one of them will go. It's kind of irritating. I've lost my patience. Alright, it's a new day. Lost my patience last night on getting those bolts in, but I just crawled down there, loosened the U-bolts, wiggled the spring back and forth, and I was able to get the bolts all the way through. The nuts are on, and now we have a new problem. The new problem is I need to create some separation here, which means the frame, the whole Jeep needs to go up. And the only way I was able to get it lifted to even get it on those jack stands was to jack up on the old axle. But I can't do that with it not connected. And my jack's not going 3 feet in the air or however high this bumper is, so that basically leaves two options: the high lift or the cherry picker. Before we do that, I do need to grab these old shackle hangers and get these bushings out of here and put them in the new ones. Do all that before we get it into a sketchy situation. So there's some leftover weld berries inside of here that I don't want snagging up my bushings, so we're just gonna take care of them. Alright, well, we've uncovered a new dilemma. These are those bushings I just pulled out from the old ones. They are much too small for this hole. Oh, no worries, right? Because they sent me new ones with it. Well, these are the new ones. They fit that hole, but they are just absolutely massive. They are for 9/16 bolts, and these are 1/2-inch bolts. So for me to run these would require me to drill all these out, go buy new bolts, and all that jazz. And I don't know if I really want to do all that. You can see the difference there. So the only hope we have here, this is my kind of random box of bushings and things that I've gathered over the years from switching lifts and switching things around, and I'm hoping I've got one that has this bigger diameter. This actually looks like it right here, but I would need 4 of them, but also fits that sleeve. So if I can find 3 more of those, we're in business. I only got 2 of them, so I can get one side done. Every other one I had was just like the ones in that bag with the bigger hole. I'm gonna look around a couple more places, but I'm pretty sure everything I had was in this box. I carry this in the center console of the Jeep. It's full of random nuts and bolts. If I break a bolt, lose a bolt, somebody else does, maybe I've got the right one. And a light bulb went off, and I was like, don't I carry a set of extra bushings in there? And lo and behold, here's one set of the smaller ones, and looky there. It's exactly what I need. They are a different number, but they are the right size. My high lift's in the storage unit, and the cherry picker is going to be really hard to get in here, but I got another idea. If I take this board out, I can get a normal jack under here, lift it up enough to switch to, I do have one more set of small jack stands, but I can just lift it up, roll this dolly out of here, put that small jack stand on the floor, and bring the axle down quite a bit farther. So that's what we're going to do. Get up out of here. That's as far over as I can get. That's all I need is just enough to... Okay, well, we'll do this then. Well, I ain't never gonna get a shackle on there like that, so I gotta get the other jack in here. Whew, it's cold out there today. My neighbor gave me this jack, and it just stays out in the driveway. I don't care if it gets ruined because it was free. It was like 70 yesterday, and it's in the 40s today. There she goes, kind of. That should do. Ooh. I need to put new grease zerks in the end of these bolts. I always break them off. They're plenty greasy for right now. Good Lord. Oh, it's starting to get exciting, guys. It's getting bolted in. Ah. Well, this one could get interesting. Whoa, too far. I think I'll lift it back up and just get a little bit of weight on it. See what my approximate shackle angle is gonna look like. This jack it's like a rapid pump until you get weight on it, then it's a slow pump. Whoo, look at them shackles go. They're still going. I knew they were going to be forward, but I don't know if I thought they were going to be this far forward. Oh my God, they're still going. I might have messed up, guys. You can't see it yet, but I can. Did it just pull off the jack stand? Yep. So I knew that when I moved the back hangers forward 2.5 inches and I only moved these forward 1.5, that it was going to increase my shackle angle. But I didn't think it was going to get that drastic. Good golly, that is just... Should get an angle finder out and figure out what it is, but it's beyond 45 degrees. Really what that's going to do is give me a bunch more droop, but not as much up travel, because I will hit a limit really quick. I mean, it won't hit the bumper or anything, but golly, they stick out far. Oh, geez. What have I done? So I just hand tightened the U-bolts, and I'm going to lower this down and give it the ugga-dugga. I also torqued all these while it's got the weight on it. Once the tires are on here, that'll droop a lot farther than where it's sitting right now. This is why it's a good idea to take these bolts out, because if you left them in, like I left this one in because the spring pack's not really going to spread apart here, but it will here, and you can get so much more droop by taking that bolt out of there. It goes quite a bit farther down. Now here's another interesting thing. I've been trying to figure out if I'm going to need a new front drive shaft because I moved it forward 2.5 inches. But because this diff is bigger and it's longer from center line to here, so I really only have like 1 inch of the blue showing, maybe a little more than 1 inch, and it used to be dead even with that. So this is so much longer that this is really only extended by 1 inch, and I think that's gonna be enough to just run it. I don't know, I'll reach out to Adams and send them a picture and see what they think about it. It'd be cool if they just made these in different lengths so I could just buy this piece and it would be 1 inch longer. If you've been following me since way before I had a YouTube channel, I actually did that on one of my old front drive shafts. I bought a second one of these. I cut like this much off the old one, and then I splined both pieces onto it and beveled it and welded them together, so I had like a really long piece, and it held up for as long as I had that drive shaft. For this being full droop, that angle is not bad at all on that U-joint. So I'm pretty confident that these U-bolts, it's sitting right on the edge of this casting. But if you remember from one of the old videos, I took a die grinder and I ground a little groove for that to sit into, so that once it's in there, it's not like super deep, but it's enough to keep it where it needs to be. And then this one, I just cut that big ass groove in there. I suppose the next logical step is to get these outers put together. God, I've been waiting a long time to open this box. Or I should say, these boxes. Oh my goodness, it's a thing of beauty. If you've ever wondered what the inside of an RCV looks like she's pre-packed on the grease. So if you've never done these, the long part of the shaft has a snap ring and it clicks into here. So you gotta set the boot. You put this over the long end and shove it in, and then put this in and click it on. Then there's a whole ass trick to getting this over the bell, which most people just stick a zip tie in there because it has an airlock. You would think these are soft. I mean, they are not. They're hard. Stuff's been sitting here forever. The seals for the kingpins, I believe those are the uppers, and those are the lowers. Here are our actual lower kingpins. And I don't know if you remember, I welded these little tapered rings to protect the grease zerks from getting busted off on rocks. Got my studs, the preload things, some gaskets, and it looks like I guess I have another set of these seals. This is what came with the high steer arms, so maybe it wants these deeper ones. There's quite the difference there. Actually, no, that's just as far down as it sits. And you know what else? That little short seal does not reach it to touch it. Let's see how this one does. That's a little better. These are those bronze bushings. They are an upgrade over the plastic ones. I suppose we'll start with getting these studs in here. I'm gonna reuse 2 of the better ones that I found. And I like to give these a little dab of Tin Man in a can, just because over time, if you ever gotta pull one, best if it's not seized. You know, I was just having all kinds of technical audio problems on this video. I know the last couple clips sounded goofy, and then right here the batteries died on my wireless mic and I got no audio, but we're just working through it best I can. It would help if I paid a little more attention to things. Alright, it's the next day. Here's a fun fact. With the bronze bushings that I got, it turns out they want you to take these preload discs that go on top of the bushings, and I guess with the bronze ones, they want you to drill these holes in it. I don't think it has to be super accurate, they just have to be there, so did that while I was at work today. Gonna pack these bearings, and these go like that, and then tap these into the bottom, and then we can hang these knuckles. Feels like it's seated. He's facing me. Stupid me just realized I left my wireless mic sitting over on the toolbox. So I'm sorry if the audio is garbage on these previous clips. See if I can't get this whole roll pin in here. Oh, come on. That thing stayed centered. Yes, it did. This thing literally maxes out at 80, which is what I need. See, it still has that up and down play, which is what we'll take up with this after we get there. I torqued these to 80, I torqued these to 75, and it says to torque this one to 15, between 10 and 30. Unfortunately, don't have a 3/8 Allen in a socket that I can torque. So, we're just gonna go by feel. You can feel it kind of pull the slop out. That feels pretty good. It's got drag. And now I just gotta lock these jammer nuts down. Oh, I'm gonna crank this hog. Feels pretty good. Gosh, I'm getting so excited, guys. It's coming together. I'm such an idiot. This is supposed to point the other way. I know, this is gonna just look awful backwards to some people. But this is just how this goes. The old behind the knuckle steering, because, you know, gotta make my Jeep incredibly old school for some reason. You have no idea how long I've waited to put these suckers in there. My goodness. There she goes. Just gotta spit on that thing sometimes.
What?
Well, the WD-40's the spit. Gotta give it the old hawk to.
Oh no. I can't with you right now, Dad. I was gonna say goodnight, but I don't even think I should anymore.
Yeah, that was an inopportune moment for you to walk out here, daughter.
I'm going to bed now.
You know, it's pretty well known that RCVs can be kind of a pain in the butt to put together, especially since that orange boot won't fit through the knuckle, so you got to put it in there first, and it's a super hard plastic. And let's just say I sat here and struggled, and it wasn't until the third night of messing with it that I figured out a way to get it together, and that was boiling water.
I don't know why they can't just make these to where they fit through the damn hole. There's some struggles y'all just don't need to see. I started thinking that maybe the cold is why this thing doesn't want to give. And I did it on the other side and it worked. But I did it outside of the Jeep. So this one I'm going to try to do inside the Jeep so I don't have to take the knuckle off to try to get it on. So, let's see if this works. Get me a zippy. I think that's in. Get my zip tie out. I did the other side without the zip tie, and it went like halfway in, and then every time I would move it, it would kind of make a little queef noise. I mean, I'm moving it all over, and it's not popping out. I guess that's the secret. Heat. Turns out the garage being 40 degrees isn't doing it any favors. In the meantime, I either have to take this one apart and do like I just did that one, or I have to take the knuckle off, shove that in, and then try to swing the knuckle on over it. I think I'm going to do that because I want to know if that's going to work for future use, you know? Oh, wow. I may have to take this bushing and the roll pin back apart to get that back on. Put that up like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now I know in the future, at least if I got to do this on the trail or something, I can take the whole works off and get her done that way. Feel a little bit better about that. Oh, I'm super stoked about this. I was stuck on this part for longer than I care to admit. Somebody on the good old hardline crawlers forum suggested boiling it for 30 seconds. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, we're right back to where we were, plus some. Nothing like a good old 2-day detour to keep you humble, right? Okay, so here's my spindles, still full of dirt and grease. And we're gonna have to pull these spindle bearings out of here because we're switching to something different. I really appreciate y'all coming and watching me be an idiot in my garage all the time. And on that note, this seems like a natural break point, so I'm gonna get to work cleaning all that crap up. We'll see you there.